Okay, you're not lying to yourself there then. Welcome tax resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649. Visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub to help fight the IRS. That's right. I don't think you're live.
I think I am.
Don't see it.
What happened?
That's fine. Let's find out.
Oh, yep, you're live. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate in Northeastern Illinois, give me a call, Jim Leahy with @Properties today, 847-271-3695. We hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't know what I just did here to my computer.
You just did what you always make fun of me doing. You had the sound on. You always make fun of me doing that.
I swear to God, I've heard that Ariana Grande song before.
Ariana Grande. Jimmy's a big Grande fan. Grande.
I'm not a big Ariana Grande fan.
I was. She had this one. Okay, well.
I'm a Venti Grande fan. Hey-oh, where's my rim shot?
I'm a Starbucks Grande fan.
What does that mean?
That I don't like Starbucks. I don't like Starbucks. I won't drink it. I won't eat it.
I've only been to Starbucks a handful of times.
It's like just going to a milkshake shop. You want some caffeine with your milkshake? Yes, I do. That sounds awesome, but
You know, I guess they do something right in that because they make so much money. So I guess they're doing something right.
go get the unicorn frap.
Again, I always feel uncomfortable because I never know what to order because I just want coffee.
Lots on the menu.
Well, I just want coffee. What do you want, sir?
They don't have just coffee.
I know. No, they don't.
It's like
They got rid of that
Yeah.
in 2003. I'm
can I-
kidding. They do have it.
I know they do because I just what kind of coffee would you like, sir? Black. Coffee of the day. That's what I always. The only
The
couple
roast of the day.
I didn't know I just say coffee of the day because I don't know. I don't
This
know.
is where
they
we
catch
are.
me.
Hey, this is where we are in society. We have McDonald's having solar panels and Zen gardens, and now we have
I know.
we have cold brew coffee.
You know,
used to
and-
be oh my coffee's cold. Here, take that back.
And
Now
cold-
everybody wants cold coffee.
I know it's called cold coffee.
Ready for the show?
Yeah, that's a very good point, Jim. Cold coffee was a.
Used to be a
I
sin.
generally do cool my coffee down before I drink it. I put in ice cubes if I have them. Because
You know what I do?
Because I want to drink it. I don't want to sip coffee. I want to drink it.
I have learned to just drink coffee.
I do drink coffee.
I know, but I'm just saying I won't warm it up. If
How many
it's cold,
coffees a day do
whatever.
you drink?
I do not have coffee every day.
Really? Do you drink coffee every day, Jim?
Yes,
I have 3 cups of coffee a day.
about 3 or 4 for me.
One when I get up in the morning. If
3 or 4?
Yeah, big
I-
ones.
I have 3 cups of coffee.
Grande ones.
One in the morning if my wife
Grande.
if my wife's awake because then she'll make me coffee.
Aw.
And if she's not, then I generally won't make coffee because I got to get up and it just doesn't fit into my
You got to get out the door.
it doesn't fit into my timing, right? And so I generally won't. But my wife will make me a cup of coffee. Then when I get to the office, I have 2 cups. I tried to stay to 1 cup, and I thought 2 cups was keeping me up at night. But I got it. I could do 3 cups as long as I get it before 11 o'clock. I'm okay. When I start drinking.
I have to have.
I start drinking after that. I won't sleep at night.
You know what? I have a lot of coffee, but then I'll crash.
When I was a kid, my parents and everybody drank coffee all the time.
All day?
All day.
night?
Yeah. You'd always have they always had a pot of coffee on the stove, always, because we didn't have the drip coffees.
You know
right?
why
It
that was?
percolators.
Oh yeah.
That was if just a neighbor randomly stopped by just to say
Yeah, you
hello.
want a cup of
They
coffee.
could say, "You want a cup of
Cup
coffee?"
of coffee. And we go to the diner, and everybody would
Because
sit
people visited each
and
other.
endless cup of
We
coffee.
still in our neighborhood, but now it's with beverages. I always just went, hey, you want a beer?
Hey, would you like a cup of coffee?
Beer's here.
It's that thing.
Want a piece of coffee cake?
That's that.
That's that guy. That's that guy.
That's,
Don't touch a coffee cake.
that's Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah.
Yes. The kind of a heavy.
Don't touch a coffee
Did he
cake.
pass?
No, No,
Oh,
I don't think so. He's still doing stand-up.
Is that the kind
About
of
the Entenmann's.
That's the large man, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it's not that large man.
No.
He's Italian.
Italian guy.
There's
He's
a great
like skinny.
bit about the Entenmann's coffee
isn't that the
cake
guy
only
too?
being for guests.
And nobody ever eats. Nobody ever answers the door. People knock on the door. Oh, someone's at the door.
Hide.
That's right. Someone's at the door.
It's true. It's like, you know what?
I always tell
just
people just because someone knocks on the door doesn't mean you have to answer it.
I just recently noticed that doorbells are starting to come back. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't. Not in my house.
Doorbells.
The ones with the camera in it where you can look at who's at your door.
But people for a little bit there, were not using doorbells, especially my generation.
No,
I'm gonna
you
call.
text.
Hey, I'm here.
No, you text. You don't.
Yeah.
They don't even call.
Well,
They
I
just
call.
text.
I call.
Oh,
I'm a
my
caller.
kids. Well, you're an older generation. My kids, they never. They just walk up to the door and they answer it. Someone's there.
I can't say.
It's like, how'd you know?
It's so much technology. I can't. I want to take a step away, but again, I'm trying to grow my business, so it's like, especially with I've been busy the past couple of weeks, so I'm always on my phone. Even though before that too, I'm on my phone all the time. But it's just now it's starting to become. I'm kind of like waking up. It's like waking up in the Matrix and everybody's plugged in. It's like, oh my God, is everybody realizing this? This is intense.
Oh no. Okay, let's do the show.
It's time to boldly go where technology is going. Tech, knowledge, universe.
We haven't done that in a while.
Science.
We haven't done that in a while, but not today because we got to do the IRS. Song.
Ready to
Let's
go?
Yes, let's do it.
Imagine writing that song.
Pursuant to Internal Revenue Service guidance, be advised that any federal tax advice contained in this program is not intended to be used, and it cannot be used by any person or entity for the purpose of avoiding any tax penalties that may be imposed by the Internal Revenue Service or any other U.S. federal taxing authority or agency, or promoting, marketing, or recommending to another party any transaction or matter addressed in this show. The opinions expressed by the host and the guests are their own and may not be used as authoritative advice. Any use of this material without the written consent of the host is strictly prohibited.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy, on AM 560, The Answer. Tune in every week at 5 for an informative discussion about IRS obligations, credit card debt, mortgage default, collection activity, and how to resolve these legal issues using tax resolution, debt settlement, mortgage loan modification, foreclosure defense, and bankruptcy. Your host is Stephen Leahy, and the principal at Open Tax Resolutions and the law office of Stephen Leahy, PC. Stephen is the author of Deal with Your IRS Problems Today. IRS and debt issues are serious, but there is help. There are resolutions. So get ready and take notes during the IRS Radio Hour. And now, here's your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy.
Hello, Chicago taxpayers. We're coming to you from Studio C here at AM 560 The Answer. This is the IRS Radio Hour.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The show is sponsored by the law office of Stephen A. Leahy, PC, and Opum Tax Resolutions.
God bless you, Opum Tax Resolutions.
That's right. God bless you, Open Tax Resolutions.
Opum helps people solve IRS problems. We help people with audits and levies, liens and garnishments, collections, unfiled tax returns, and payroll tax issues. We also help people with mortgage foreclosures, loan modifications, bankruptcy, and other debt-related issues. So if you have any of these problems, or if you know someone who does, tell them to call me at 312-664-6649. Again, that number is 312-664-6649, or visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. I am your host. I am attorney Stephen Leahy.
I hope you are.
I am. And I am joined here today with our technical producer, Deborah Schreiner.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Woohoo, Deborah.
It's going great, Deborah. How about you?
I'm doing good. I feel like this is going to be one of the best shows.
It's already started out great.
Deborah, this is going to be a phenomenal show.
And that other person that you hear is my nephew, my co-host, my very good friend, my realtor, Jim Leahy.
You're a rare gift and a best friend to anyone who knows you. Your drive to be your best and to be successful inspires me.
Very good.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. That is none other than Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher, newly inducted. Deborah, thank you so much, because you know that Brian Urlacher is my favorite player of all time. That shows my age.
You mentioned that last
I love
week.
him. I watching him play. I can't say enough about it. I can go.
You know,
the
in
whole
that
show.
speech, he talked about the legacy of Dick Butkus and Mike Singletary, and then he said, and me. You know, hard for me to say, but me. But yeah, not hard for me to say him, because it was
the
that
Chicago Bears.
It is that legacy of the middle linebacker.
He emulated just everything what it meant to be a Bear.
I
Same
agree
thing
with
with Mike
I
Singletary.
agree
Same
with that.
thing with Dick Butkus. It's
Now, before we get to the news, I want to
hold
talk.
on. I wanted to
Okay,
do
go ahead.
my spiel.
Okay,
Remember, open tax
spiel.
resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649, or visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. I am the show's realtor, so if you're looking to buy or sell property in northeastern Illinois, you give me a call. Jim Leahy with That Properties, 847-271-3695. One more time, 847-271-3695. Give me a call today.
Okay, so two things. I was at the Project Hood world largest baby shower last Saturday. Ran into Joe Walsh and his lovely bride and a bunch of other people. It was a great event. Pastor Brooks does a great job. I was boom, boom, they were gone. Boom. You know what everybody wanted on? You know how like Halloween, Jim, it's always, what do you want? Plain? Ketchup? You know what they wanted? Everything. So I was putting everything on those hot dogs. Give me one of those Chicago dogs. So again, great event. Second event that I went to this week was the Sean Spicer event.
Oh, how was that?
It was good. It was very good. And I got a book, got to meet him, got nice pictures.
The briefing.
The briefing is correct. Really great event. So it was very nice to meet him and some of the other sponsors here on AM 560.
How did you enjoy the
answer.
discussion at the event?
Well, the discussion was a little bit lax, in my opinion, only because I didn't see a lot of it. Nothing to do with that, but as a VIP, I got to come in early, but I stayed late at the other event, so I didn't get to come in early, so I didn't get a good spot, and so I didn't see a lot of it. Just to be honest with you. But I did meet Sean Spicer and talk to him. Matter of fact, that was 8/8/80, what are we now?
8/8/18.
18. And I had to tell him 30-year anniversary. We were at Harry Carey's. That's where the event was. Harry Carey had great food. Of course, it was sponsored by the radio station here. Saw all the big shots from the radio station. And some of the sponsors. David Hochberg was there, so it's good to see David and others. So it was fun, and I'm always.
Let's get on track.
Okay,
here, because we have a show.
But that's
to
part
do
of the show.
I know it's part of the show, but let's get into the real
Let's do
stuff.
it.
The news roundup.
Review and comment on the news.
Now that is right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to aggregate what happened this week. You like that?
Yeah, I do. I wouldn't expect you to use such a word.
We're gonna exfoliate all the good news. I know. I'm just.
That was a reach.
I know it was. That's what I was trying to do.
What would you like to talk about today, Jim?
Well, you know what? I wanted to talk about how Rahm Emanuel was thinking about borrowing $10 billion, ladies and gentlemen, to pay off the pensions in Chicago. Another borrowing plan from our wonderful lawmakers in the city of Chicago and also Illinois. Don't worry, J.B. Pritzker is going to pass common sense solutions.
You know what kind of solutions he wants, Jim? Solutions that work. That's what.
It just doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, for God's sakes, Republican or Democrat, driving on right now, if you're driving home, you're listening at home, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. This guy is terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not happy with what we have now, but come on, this guy is not a solution to the answer.
Well, he has
the questions.
He has an op-ed today in the paper talking about gun violence, and of course, his answer is more gun control. We got to keep guns out of the hands of illegals, or illegal guns out of Chicago.
I understand what you were saying. Yeah.
But how? That's already illegal.
You know what?
How much more can you do?
You know what? I love it too. The way they act, like they think this is just a spur thing. It's like, oh, all these people. It's a spur thing. We have to. No, these are premeditated, thought of crimes. This is something that's happening in the community because one drug deal goes bad, or this guy's going in this guy's turf.
Yes.
You know what's going on. Do your job, police. And I'm not calling the police.
No,
listen,
because they won't
going after the police.
They won't let the police do the police work.
I know this is government.
This is government. Exactly. They have tied their hands and won't let them do what they need to do. That's what I would say. That there are answers to this, but they won't do it. It's politically. I posted some things about gang members. There's a big story in the paper about gang members and meeting with aldermen who are running for office and the aldermen are looking for their endorsements because that's how they get elected. And so then they don't. They're trying to do this. Put them in jail.
They're trying to do a racial thing where it's like, well, look, we're trying to not go. It's not go after the character of the man when he does or woman or whoever. Go after the character of the person. If they're committing a crime, if they're committing crime, they're criminals. Arrest them.
I agree with that.
Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter where you were born. Doesn't matter who you pray to or what you wake up to or your circumstances.
I agree.
If you're breaking the law, you go to jail.
And here's the thing: keep them there. They arrest them.
We have such an issue right now.
But they arrest them, Jim, and they let them go. There's no punishment. That's the problem.
Well, the prison systems are filling up. What are you going to do there?
I don't know if they're filling up or not. But
they are filling up.
Okay, so
they're at maximum capacity here.
I don't know if that's true.
We're running out of time because we really would love to continue with this conversation. If you, ladies and gentlemen, have any comment on this whatsoever, please go to our YouTube page and you can watch the live comments. Well, not live. We did it on Friday, but you can go and put comments on the video. Just chime in and tell us what you think. What are the answers here in Chicago? What can you do?
Policing, I believe,
it's policing.
I believe.
And I'll tell you what, voting in J.B. Pritzker is not going to be the answer for Illinois. It is going to
putting Rahm Emanuel back in is not going to be the answer too.
Somebody wanting to borrow $10 billion extra.
But he's up there crying about this. Oh, he's like his hands are tied. He got nothing to do. Oh, this is the first thing that's ever happened. This killing every weekend.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, we can continue talking about it, but we have a great show lined up for you today. Attorney Stephen Leahy, what's the blog segment?
I'm going to talk about a big win that we had in my office.
A big W.
For tax penalty abatement.
Fly that W. Also, we're going to be talking about the IRS saga, the last and final.
Probably.
Final. Done. No more IRS saga that we'll ever do. So stay tuned, listen to that. We also have Mr. Know-It-All. Great question.
And the question is, should I hire my CPA to help me solve my IRS
Well, they know everything about taxes, so and we're also going to talk about sports. What's going on with the Cubs? And what about Brian Urlacher? So let's stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Open tax resolutions there for you. 312-664-6649 or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. Also, too, call me, Jim Leahy, with that property. 847-271-3695. Stay tuned. Listen to our sponsors and come right back after the commercial break here on AM 560.
The answer. Yes. Good job, Jim.
Great show. Great show already.
You're a good boy, Jimmy.
Cubs are getting no hit.
Still?
In the sixth.
Is it still 2-0?
2-0.
So Hendricks pitching fairly well.
Did you see the other night when Quintana got the loss? He's actually pitched a great game.
I know.
Joe West calling those crappy strikes. Are you kidding? Joe, are you nuts?
I agree.
It's on the bottom. In the inside corner. You're not going to call and then he walks the bases loaded and scores 2 runs from, because you're pressing the guy. Quintana can't catch a break.
I agree with that.
What are you going to do?
Agreed. So I'm going to talk about this penalty abatement.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, open tax resolutions are for you. We're going to say it a lot, and you're going to have a chance to call 312-664-6649 or visit chicagotaxteam.com. Now, listen, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Let's get your problem solved today. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, I've said it before.
Say it again, Jim. Say it again.
I'm going to yell loud and proud. Jim Leahy with That Properties. Remember that in Illinois, 847-271-3695. If you're even looking and you're not, even if you're looking to move into Illinois or you're not from Illinois, you're looking to move in, or you know somebody that's around that's looking, give me a call. I can connect you with people who are best in the business. And that is a true statement, ladies and gentlemen, because I know some realtors who are the best in the absolute business. Give me a call today, 847-271-3695.
Very good, Jim.
That coffee got me going. I need that extra cup of coffee to get me through the day. So I really went to the gym well this week. I don't think I'm going to be able to go. Hope I can go tomorrow.
All set for the
Yes,
blog?
the blog.
Welcome back to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back. I am your host, like the guy just said. I'm
That's
Stephen
right.
Leahy.
That's what he said. That's what the man said.
I'm here with my co-host Jim Leahy, the realtor of the show, and our technical producer Deborah Schreiner. And
That's right, attorney Stephen Leahy. Remember, open tax resolution is there for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a problem, get it solved today. Don't let it fester. Don't let it fester.
Uncle Fester.
Okay. Let's just cut me off while we're ahead.
Cut.
It's the blog segment. The blog. The blog.
Very good, Jim.
I just want people to know that open tax resolution is a wonderful solution to your problem.
Very good. I see what you did there. It is a.
I actually
okay.
got-
Here is somebody. As you know, this is our blog segment, which I like to talk about what happened in the office this week, and in the
Water cooler talk.
and
as we like to say.
in the office, we help people, like Jim was just saying, and we had a big win in the office this week.
What'd you do?
The big win is this. Okay, so I have a client who is in a payroll tax situation, a fairly larger company, had a payroll tax issue, has a payroll company do their payroll for their and the IRS implemented a electronic filing at sometime a couple of years ago, and this was the first time that this company was doing this electronic filing, and they got a confirmation that all of their stuff went through, but it was false. None of the stuff it didn't make it to the IRS, and they didn't find out for about 3 months later than that, and by that time the IRS had assessed now remember there's when you don't file your tax return on time or you don't pay on time, there's actually a number of penalties that go along with this. The first one is what they call a failure to file penalty. So if I don't file within 60 days, right, then after the minimum amount is the smaller of $135 or 100% of your unpaid taxes. And any month or part of a month, you get charged 5%, up to 25% of the total tax due. That's what the penalty is, and that's for failure to file. Failure to pay is a different tax, and that could be a 0.5% per month. Again, they just keep accruing. So the later you are, the more you pay, and it's a month or any part of the month. So my client again said, "Wait a minute, this isn't fair. We thought we had filed on time. We were relying on this other outfit. We thought we filed on time." And so the payroll the payroll company had sent notice to the IRS, said, "Hey, wait, this was our mistake. This was it was an error. It was unforced. We didn't know." And the IRS said, "Tough luck. You're going to pay." The penalty abatement in this case was over $40,000. Okay, so then they hired us to help them, and we went back and forth with the IRS. There was other issues, but we went back and forth with the IRS. They said, "No, we're not." We made another appeal to to get the penalty abatement. Now, penalty abatements are when the IRS agrees to take off a penalty that they have assessed against you. So there's different reasons why they will abate a penalty. So one is a first-time abatement. So if I have never missed my taxes, I've always paid on time, I've always filed on time, and then one year I'm late, for instance, and then they assess this tax against me. I go back to the IRS and say, "Wait a minute, I'm always on time. Give me give me a shot.
Come on, give me a break."
And the IRS will say, "Okay, we'll give you one shot, one break, we'll give it to you." But they don't always do it. They don't have to do it. And again, in this case, they said no. So we appealed it. And we appealed it last October, and it's been in the appeals ever since. And I wrote a brilliant brief, in my opinion, about why the IRS should, there's also what they call reasonable cause. If I could tell them there's a reasonable cause why my client did not pay or file on time, then they will abate that penalty. And so again, it's already been denied. It's a lot like some insurance companies out there, right? So some people, you have your insurance company, you get in an accident, you go to your insurance, you say, "Hey, I'm going to file this claim," and they'll tell you, "Nah, that's not covered." And some people will just say, "Well, I guess it's not covered. I'm not going to get paid." But some people will go back and say, "Wait a minute, this is covered. It's right here." And they, "Oh, yeah, you're right. We're going to cover it." So it's really a scam, in my opinion, to save money for the company, because then they don't want to cover it. But even though they're supposed to, so they're only going to give it to the people who insist. The same thing with the IRS. You'll ask them, "Hey, can you abate this penalty?" And they'll come, "Oh, we're going to think about it." They're going to think it over and take a couple of months and then come back and say, "No, we're not going to abate it." Kind of same thing with offers and compromise. You'll go and do all this work and put together an offer. You'll send it out to them. They'll put it in the queue and think about it for months and months and months and months. And some months later, 8 months or more later, they'll come back to you and say, "Nope, sorry, it's denied." All of these things with the IRS, I shouldn't say all of them, but most of this stuff with the IRS, you have to appeal it. They're going to deny it right off the bat. They're going to tell you that you don't qualify, or they're not going to do it. And you have to appeal it. That's why this stuff takes so long. And the IRS does it on purpose, right? Because they don't want to give you any breaks.
Because they can afford to draw it out.
And it's got that's right, nothing on them. So they'll draw it out. And I kept getting calls from my client, "Hey, what's going on with this?" Because as I mentioned, we filed this appeal last October. So we're coming on almost a year now with our appeal. And my client would call every couple months. "What's going on?" We're keeping them advised. We keep calling. We keep checking. "Oh, no. Last time we called, they said, we haven't even taken it out of the queue. We haven't even assigned it to anybody yet." So finally, they assigned it to someone. And then we got the word this last month that our penalty abatement was successful. And they abated that penalty of over $40,000. But it's even more than that, because that was a couple of years ago now. And the interest on that $40,000, that's also abated. So it's a lot, it comes out to much more than $40,000. And this is important, because
take note, ladies and gentlemen.
Now remember, there's a penalty. There's a penalty for not filing on time, and then there's a penalty for not paying on time. So if you can, and this would, and I had clients this week, right? So they haven't filed in some years, and why it came out to because they had the file and they didn't have the money, so they thought, well, I can't file unless I have the money. But that's a mistake. Even if you can't pay the IRS, you can file your tax return. You don't have to send them the money.
Don't pay the penalty.
They want you to pay the money, but if you don't have the money, don't get caught with both of these penalties: failure to file and failure to pay. And so, if you have a choice, always file your tax return on time. Now, I get people who haven't filed in some years, and they say, well, every year we ask for an extension, but the extension only goes to October 15th of that same year. It doesn't go on forever.
No.
Okay, so you file an extension,
I
and
was just actually talking to a gentleman about this that I work with, and he was talking about how far the IRS can go back for your taxes. Is it 4 years or 7?
It depends though, Jim, because it depends where. If you haven't filed anything, they can go back much farther than that because they generally. So I have people who come to see me; they haven't filed in 10 years, 15 years, and so usually we'll try to go back 6 years. Okay. And sometimes the IRS will allow that. Sometimes they'll ask you to go back a little bit further, but usually we try to do 6 years. But if you haven't filed, technically the IRS can go back to the, time. But in the end, it really doesn't matter because I can't pay that tax anyway.
Well, the reason why I brought that up is because, again, he was talking about, there's an extension date. Well, yes, you have to file your tax, but you have to pay it.
Okay, so
you have to pay it.
If you pay 90% of what your tax is going to be before the due date in April, so April 15th or April 17th, remember it's been changing, but if it's on April 15th, then if you pay up to 90% of that, and then you won't get a failure to pay penalty, even if you owe more money. But if you don't pay up to 90%, then you will get a failure to file to pay penalty. So anyway, that's the way it works. And if you have any questions, call me.
We hope you guys had a great little segment there. Remember, if you didn't take any information or you're just catching right now, you can go to YouTube, look up Attorney Stephen Leahy or Open Tax Resolution. You can see the live feed that we did on Friday of the show. That way you're able to watch and get the information. So you can go there, like, subscribe, share, do all that. And also call Open Tax Resolution if you have any other questions. 312-664-6649. And visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com today. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. Remember, I'm Jim Leahy with @Properties 847-271-3695. And we hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, don't go through the same problems that everybody else is going through. The IRS wants you to. Fight it today. And Open Tax Resolution will help you get there. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, here on AM 560.
The Answer. Back.
Yeah, baby.
Whatever.
So you walk the bases loaded, guys throwing a no-hitter. They change pitchers in a no-hitter. It's like, whoa.
He just walked the bases loaded.
I know, but Jason Hayward came up, cracked it in the right field, scored.
3-2.
So
we just tied
2-2.
it. We just tied it.
2-2, two outs, 2. But the guy's throwing wild right now. Guy's throwing absolutely wild. To David Bodie.
What are we going to do with him when KB comes back?
Keep him out there.
Where are you going to put him?
Shortstop, sit Russell.
I don't know if Bodie can play shortstop.
I'd say give him a chance.
I don't know.
I don't think Chris Bryant's coming back either.
I think
he's hurt big time.
I think he's coming back. Was that the bird?
Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're enjoying. Remember, Open Tax Resolution is there for you. I say that during every commercial, but I want you to understand they're there for you. Okay? Open Tax Resolution, 312-664-6649. Go to Facebook. Like Open Tax Resolution, you're going to get a lot of content on there. You're also going to get a lot of content on ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub. I mean that seriously. It's going to be your hub.
Hub
to help fight the IRS.
I had a lot more to say in that. I wasn't paying attention.
I did not mean to take you. I
saw the music in there. I wasn't looking at the time.
You were killing it.
My own opinion. So
see, here's
the magic trick.
Ad.
Here's a magic trick like this. It's a bird.
This is the ad. Look, this is the ad that I have going.
I've seen it. I like it.
You've seen it?
I have seen it, yes. I think you showed it to me. I like it. I'm a big fan of yours, Jim. I don't know if you knew this.
I hope everybody else is out there too. Remember.
I hope everybody? You want everybody to be your fan?
I like everybody.
Like my haircut? Cut my hair too.
I need to cut my hair. My hair is brutal.
My wife was saying, leave it long, leave it long. The first time in 20 years probably I use any products on my hair. I said, this is it. I'm not using any products. I'm cutting my hair.
My girlfriend is
Got to use a shampoo, conditioner, some gel. I'm not using any.
So much work.
my girlfriend is going off. Jim, you need a haircut, big
Really?
time. And when the lady asks, get it?
Get it. Well, see, that's my wife tells me not to get a haircut. I got to get a haircut.
That's what my girlfriend doesn't want me to shave. She likes to look, and I go, I have patch. I'm not good beard grow.
I've been shaving twice a day. I've been shaving with the razor at night because they have it at the club where I work out. So I take a shower and they have the hot lather machine. I haven't had one of those like your dad had.
They used to have
The hot
that
lather.
over-
Oh,
They had that on. They had that at Midtown. I used to love that.
love
But
that.
it's too expensive for me. I can't afford that.
Well, they have it there. I don't.
I don't really want to go there either and work out. I'm just not.
Well, the good thing is that where I go,
I've worked there.
in my building, I'm usually the only one there. There's nobody else in the whole. There's nobody else in the whole
Attorney
club.
Stephen Leahy,
So,
let's have a conversation for
pretty
everybody
much-
watching.
Oh, I thought we were.
I am. We are.
You're doing the saga?
We
We're
are
gonna
going to do the saga.
yes.
But, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know that I tagged Open tax resolutions. I also tagged my feed as well. And I also tagged you in Facebook for the IRS Radio Hour.
How do you do that? I'm just
You might be. I should watch my tongue.
Okay. That was from October 2015. So it took them 3 years for us to get that abatement. 3 years.
It's a process.
40 grand. Makes a huge difference. $40,000.
$40,000. Who do you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton?
That's Chris Rock, though, isn't
It's
it?
not. It's
I thought that was Chris Rock.
No, that's Chris Tucker. $50 million.
You do him well. I didn't even talk about the reasons why you can get a reasonable, but I won't do that. I could have talked about more. I could have read this stuff, but I want to read stuff. I don't like to read stuff on here. Who am I? Who reads stuff?
Chelsea Clinton?
Who reads stuff all the time?
John
It's like-
Cass.
It's like their show is they just read stuff. Oh, Steve Dahl does a lot of that. He'll read a lot, an article.
Well, I hope you.
In most cases, the failure to file penalty is 10 times more than the failure to pay penalty.
That's important.
Yeah,
That's important because people don't know that. People are, I can't.
I think I should have mentioned that. That's what I meant to get to that. But okay, that's what.
I love that. Well, I'm off the radar.
There ain't no such thing.
It's like me when I had no technology, no Facebook, all this. Like I'm not on the radar. They track you through. They know what you're doing at all times.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy on AM 560 The Answer. Attorney Stephen Leahy brings his passion and expertise to your radio each and every week during the IRS Radio Hour. Tune in, take notes, and be educated. Learn your options resolving financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Woohoo! We're having some fun now, Jim.
That's right, ladies
Yeah.
This is the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560.
The Answer.
Here with Jim and Deborah. Now, before I go to the next segment, I want to tell you this, that the last one I was talking about abatements and penalties, and I wanted to mention that, and I finished by telling you that you should file your tax return on time, because this is what sometimes I don't look at the clock, and I should probably pay closer attention to the clock. But the failure to file penalty can be 10 times more than the failure to pay penalty.
It.
So, and while you might not be able to pay, you can always file on time. There's no reason why you can't file on time. Now, again, there might be reasons why you can't pay. I get that, but you can always file on time. So avoid that penalty and just get it filed on time. And that way, and again, that starts the clocks running for everything for what they call the CSA date, the collection statute expiration date. So it'll help you if you just get your taxes filed on time. Okay, let's do the next segment.
And this week's segment of As the IRS Turns, Koskinen,
wherever we can, we follow the law.
Barry Sotero,
Not even mass corruption, not even a smidgen of corruption.
and that ever-favorite Lois Lerner is herself,
Thank you. I'm not good at math.
for another week of As the IRS Turns.
Well, as we were saying, this is probably the last episode. Maybe.
Stop.
Maybe. Although we thought that before. Now, as Lois,
know what, we might
Lois
do
Lerner
one
said
more.
she's not good at math. Well, she's good enough at counting her severance checks, right? Or retirement checks.
know,
She's on pension, whatever
We
she's
might
getting.
have to do the end of the year IRS saga just to recap everything of like a best of the segment. And
Well, here's why it might be the last, okay? Because here where they're saying there's no collusion. See, I'm back to collusion. There was nothing going on here, right? There's no corruption,
meddling, no
meddling.
corruption.
The IRS agreed to pay $3.5 million to groups that were wronged by the intrusive inspections.
Wait, $3.5 million to each, or
No, in together. But they're still going after them now for legal fees, because legal fees will be huge. So they're still gonna try to get it. So it's not over, but this wasn't they like most agreements in court. Nobody ever admits fault. Oh, we didn't do anything wrong, but we're still gonna pay you. But this is
The IRS would like to apologize for that.
sorry.
So not only are we going to apologize, because they got him to apologize a little while ago, a couple months ago. They finally apologized, but now they're apologizing and they're paying, and that's something the IRS has never done. They never would pay on any of these. They wouldn't pay anything.
That's huge.
And so now they're paying.
That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen.
There's still some issue about Lois Lerner's deposition. She gave a deposition and it's been protected.
What she was pleading the sixth?
Well,
pleading the fifth?
no, she did plead the fifth in the.
I thought she pleaded the ninth.
She pleaded the fifth in Congress, but they did a deposition and they protected it. They haven't released her deposition, and they're trying to get that deposition to be released so we can find out what Lois Lerner was doing and what she said. I don't know why we're paying her. We let her, they let her off scot free. Nothing ever happened to her.
She should at least lose her pension.
Well, yes, I agree with that. I was going to say no. That I didn't want to say that, but I do agree with that. I think she was the center of this. My own opinion, because remember what happened is that she came out after they did all this. She came out and she planted a question with one of her colleagues at an event, an IRS event. Because they knew that the Inspector General report was coming out that was going to reveal that there was this going on. So she planted a question, and they asked. So she had someone ask a question. Then she said, and she revealed this stuff like it was but it's fake, phony, false. It's just not right.
Made up.
So anyway, and this is one of the lawyers says, it shows that when a government agency desires to target citizens based on their viewpoints, a price will be paid.
That is all that matters. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on.
I agree with that, and that's what's going on here with this FBI thing too. If it goes on the other side, you're on the other side. You don't want the FBI colluding against you,
no,
and being able to falsify things.
In regard of
I'm talking about Trump. I'm talking about Trump. Yeah, and again, I don't really care if it's Trump or anybody else. They shouldn't be able to do stuff like that. They shouldn't be able to lie and to get warrants to.
I agree on that entirely, because it really is blown out of proportion. But at the same time, too, we
have Fourth Amendment rights. We have a Constitution. Let's follow the Constitution.
That's what follow it, please.
That's all. That doesn't seem like too much to ask.
Where we're at in society now.
And we talked about that on our pre-show.
We have this is our society that likes cold brew coffee, that likes McDonald's with solar panels.
Here, let me say this. That's where don't let them take away our Constitution. Don't let them do that. And they're trying. They're trying every day. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. They're trying to take it all away from us. Don't let them do it.
And
Let's
that's
fight
right.
that.
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. The IRS is coming after you. I got a guy for you. Attorney Stephen Leahy with Open Tax Resolution. 312-664-6649. Visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. The answers are out there, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to go looking. And remember, come on back after the commercial break here on AM 560.
The answer. I'll do whatever I want.
It's
my microphone.
Can you do that again?
She doesn't.
You're our
know.
technical producer.
She didn't even know what I did.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't.
I really don't.
Can you yell like this into the
I
mic?
just said the answer.
Yeah.
It was fine.
See, she's a technical.
But don't make a habit of it.
Listen to the technical producer.
I
please.
did.
What if you break the microphone?
I won't break the microphone.
You're buying it.
No, I don't break the camera. That's more likely. What's going on with the Cubs now, Jim? Oh, I got the question now. I get to rant about CPAs.
CPAs, they're terrible for you.
I get to rant about them.
Rant and rave.
I was just going on about the Constitution. You know, I could talk about the Constitution. I really believe they're trying to take it away from us. I really believe that. And there's a growing movement. And you know who's at the center of this movement? The Social Democrats. Because you can't have socialism with our Constitution.
But this walk away movement is huge. It's huge.
I hear that it's false, but then I hear it's big. So I don't know. I don't know if which way it is. So
here's the thing. I mean, I think that this is a signal, and it's the same thing. It's time to revamp the parties. You know, they're getting a little too goofy. I mean, the whole problem with the Republican Party, you have the Tea Party movement.
I've never really been a Republican.
I'm not either.
I generally vote Republican only because.
But I'm not a Democrat
because I only have two choices.
I'm
right?
not a Democrat. I don't stand for what they stand.
Now
for.
we have the Social Democrats, which are just socialists. They're not social democrats at all.
How do you not stand with them? They're for people. Okay,
yeah, they're for people.
Yeah, I like the ideas, but they're never implemented.
Hugo Chavez was for the people. Fidel Castro was for the people. Khrushchev was for the people.
These are
Mao Zedong was for the people.
The kill count is rising. Each name you say.
Did you see what's going on in China now, though? That they're coming against their leader because they didn't think that Trump would do anything with these sanctions, and they're really starting to hurt China. And
but it's also hurting in Arkansas.
Well, it hurts. That's what you can't go to battle.
You ready to rock?
Yeah, you can't do battle and not have it hurt. It's going to hurt, but you're going to win in the end.
I understand, but we gotta.
You got to be vigilant. If you're going to enter into a fight, you got to be ready to win that fight.
That's right. You don't just play around and jump around. You go in for the knockout.
And that's what's wrong with America. We've been too much of we've been easy for they outlast us, and we give up. Okay, we'll change. Go ahead, take all of our stuff. Don't worry about our people. We don't need anything.
Uh-oh.
What?
Wild pitch, guys on second. Okay.
Okay, please.
Mr. Know-It-All?
Yes.
Yes, miss. Deborah.
Welcome back to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Yeah, I'm the tax man.
No, you're not. You help people with taxes.
Well, that's true.
Listen, who do you think you are, a CPA?
Very good intro. Let's do the intro.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge,
That's right, ladies
I
and
guess
gentlemen.
that's more of a teaser than
It
an
was
intro.
a teaser. Mr. Know-It-All, the segment where attorney Stephen Leahy gives us his infinite wisdom on all things IRS related. It's not proper English the way I'm presenting
It's true.
it.
So here's the
It's
question.
true.
Here's the question. And I get this a lot,
Do you like the Chicago Cubs?
I get that a lot, but that's actually nobody ever asked me that because they all know that I'm a big Cub fan.
That you're a liar.
I am
You
that.
lie to yourself?
About being a Cub fan?
I'm just joking.
I know you're joking. Anyway, the question goes like this. I have a CPA who's been doing my taxes for a long time, and I'm having some IRS problems. Should I just hire my CPA to help me? I mean, he knows my stuff.
Well, but he does know taxes, right?
He knows taxes, he knows my stuff. He's, shouldn't he?
Why would
handle
I?
it?
Yeah.
Why would I? So the answer is no. You don't use your CPA. Too many of these CPAs, and don't get me wrong, they know their tax returns and they do the tax returns. But when it comes to representing you in collections, they're not used to that. They don't do that unless, of course, now some CPAs might do that, and maybe they're very well versed, but most of them aren't. And even if they are well versed, here's the difference: they're not attorneys, right? You don't have attorney-client relationship with them. There's no privilege with them. They have to reveal to the IRS everything that you tell them, and I don't have to because we have an attorney-client privilege that doesn't exist with a CPA. But more than that, too many of these CPAs, right? They, especially with deep pocket clients, they don't want to hand them off to anybody because they want to charge you a lot of money to help you, and they don't even know what they don't really understand what's going on. What they're used to doing is asking, "Hey IRS, how can we do this?" Okay, that's how we do it. Okay, then we'll do it that way. Hey IRS, how much should he pay? Oh, he should pay that. Okay, this is how much you got to pay, and they just kind of mouthpieces for the IRS. Okay, that's not the way I work. Like those, oh, can we have an installment? Oh, you won't give us one? Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, we can't get one. No, that's not the way it works. Okay, you're entitled to one. You have to fight for one.
That's why you get representation.
People who understand what the collections department is, not just setting it in, not even audits. Even audits are different than doing your tax returns. Sometimes it makes sense to have your CPA do your audit, but not if they did your tax return. You shouldn't have them with the audit, with the tax return. You need an outside party to help you with that. That's my opinion. And it's the same thing again with the collections. If you get in collections and you just send it to your CPA and you look to them to help you, you're going the wrong way. Okay, get help. They're going to charge you an arm and a leg anyway. If you're going to get charged, you're going to pay someone. Pay someone who knows what they're doing on that. Just because you have a good doctor who's good with general practitioner. If I'm having problem with my heart, I'm going to go to a cardiologist, right? I want a specialist.
And if you're looking to buy or sell a home, you go with the realtor, right? You want to have or an attorney.
No, well, you got to get an attorney too. But anyway, when you're having problems, you go to somebody who knows those problems, who addresses those problems. And just because he knows your numbers of your on your tax return doesn't mean he knows how to represent you in front of the collections department of the IRS. That's a whole separate animal. There's rules and regulations and laws that are specifically designed for collections. Doesn't have anything to do with preparing taxes. And you can prepare all the taxes in the world. Doesn't mean you understand this. And I get this all the time. And I'm working with people. Well, I sent it to my CPA. My accountant's going to handle.
And then
this
what happens?
And then he misses deadlines. And then he doesn't. Ask. And then he does. And puts you behind the eight ball. And now you're in trouble. Okay. You went the first time you get a collection letter from the IRS. Don't go to your CPA. Call somebody. Again, great to call me at 312-6649, but call somebody. And then my advice is always call an attorney. Don't call some of these other outfits that aren't attorneys because this is building a case.
As being a realtor, that's my advice too. If you have any questions regarding that sort of stuff when it comes to home loans or anything, I would consult your attorney.
Yeah, talk to someone who knows what they're talking about. Okay,
even I'm saying I don't know what I'm talking about.
I understand.
I do not practice law.
But when you're going to buy a home, for instance, you should have an attorney. Okay,
Exactly.
and get them involved early, and have them
Exactly.
ask questions. That's what their job is. That's what you're paying them for.
You want to make sure that the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, and you want to make sure that you're getting the best bargain you can for the home.
I agree with that. And it's the same with your the first time you get a collection notice says you owe the IRS. Don't go to your CPA. Don't call someone that knows what they're doing and that can protect your rights, because too often they have deadlines. Your CPA doesn't keep to the deadlines, and now you're behind the 8 ball, and a lot of your options are gone. So keep your options open. Do what you got to do. Find I was going to say an expert, but attorneys can't be experts or specialists in their particular field. But that's what I focus on, is helping people with
Give me
IRS
that number
problems.
again.
Anyway, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All. Give me that play again.
It's
Give me that number.
312-664-6649.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, remember, open tax resolutions here for you. Get representation.
Easy for you to say.
Today, 312-664-6649, or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS.
Hub.
If you did not get if you're just tuning in and you missed the question and the answer, go to YouTube. You can watch his you can watch the whole show on YouTube. Go to Attorney Stephen Lay's YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe. You can also go to ChicagoTaxTeam.com. There's ways of getting your question answered. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. After this commercial break, we're coming back here on AM 560.
The Answer. I don't know.
Update me.
Update me.
That's from young Frank. That's right. Elevate me. Yes, raise the monster up. Yes, please.
Nice knockers. Thank you, doctor.
You've obviously seen young Frank. I'll never question you again, Deborah. Are we ready to wrap this up? Deborah, we want to thank you so much for being our technical producer. I don't think you get enough credit. I really don't, because you're doing a fantastic job. Ladies and gentlemen, Deborah Schreiner, best in the business here at AM 560 The Answer. Best in the business.
Now, if I was a technical producer right now, I'd have people clapping in the background. She won't do it.
What happened?
I don't see I see nothing happening.
It's not working. It's not updating me. It says in play.
Did you see this Amorosa or whatever her name is?
Oh,
what is it?
Omarosa.
Omarosa. Say, I got tapes. She doesn't really have any tapes.
batter interference. It's an on-field delay right now.
Would it be great if the Mueller team loses with this Manafort thing? I don't think they will, but they could lose. They put this bad witness up on there who stole from them, embezzled millions of dollars from them.
Is this where our reporters have come to? Fed up locals are setting electric scooters on fire.
That's in
smearing them with poop.
Yes. Did you see those?
Burying them at sea? Excuse me. That's how we're going to use that term. Fecal matter or something more appropriate along.
I know, poop.
Like that's what you go with.
I know. I agree with that.
Is that reporting?
Is that I read that story and I was is that like our bike thing? You know, like the Divvy bikes where you rent those by the hour or something.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. But they're electric scooters. I sometimes I want to go visit LA and see how beautiful it is, and then I look and I go, oof, do not want to go anywhere near there.
Those things are dangerous, those little scooters.
Don't I know it? Oh, Cubs manager Joe Madden ejected. Okay, let's wrap this up.
We're gonna
Ba-da-ba-da-boom!
You're quite the guy, Jim.
Yes, I am. Ian Happ singles on a live drive to center field. Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber to second. 2 on, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th, 1-1. Or I'm sorry, 2-2.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy on AM 560, The Answer. Attorney Stephen Leahy brings his passion and expertise to your radio each and every week during the IRS Radio Hour. Tune in, take notes, and be educated. Learn your options resolving financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
To the Chicago Bears, the charter franchise in National Football League history. First, I must acknowledge the fans. I never got a chance to say goodbye. The best fans in the world.
Woohoo!
God, I love them.
All fans like to be
Ladies
called
and gentlemen, we
the
want to
best
thank you
fans
so
ever.
much for tuning in to the IRS Radio Hour. Remember, Attorney Stephen Leahy and I are every Sunday at 5 o'clock on this station, on this great station. But there's also other great shows on this station as well. So if you're just tuning in, you should listen to more of the great programming here on AM 560.
The Answer.
Remember, if you're looking to buy or sell a home in Northeastern Illinois, give me, Jim Leahy, with At Properties a call, 847-271-3695. Again, 847-271-3695. Give me a call today.
Do you want to talk about the Cubs, Jim, or you want to talk?
I want to talk about Brian Urlacher, how amazing it was. Oh, I want to just say that we are mourning the passing of Stan Mikita.
Oh yeah, that's sad.
What an amazing
Wasn't that
guy.
old either.
No, he was not. But what an amazing guy. You know, the Chicago Blackhawks organization really is missing out on such a phenomenal human being. So I never had a chance to meet him, but you know, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
Met Bobby Hull many times, but I never met
Stan the man.
Stan. I get it.
It's just Ryan.
I get it.
He's Blackhawks all-time leading scorer.
I know he is. Hey, when I was a kid in the '60s, it was him and Bobby Hull were the bomb.
We're the Tays and Kane.
We didn't call it that at the time. Yeah, they were. They were
not
the,
even
the
Tays
Hawks.
and Kane are the same anymore.
I know they were the Hawks.
If they
as far
can
as
make
I
the
knew.
playoffs,
I had pictures of Stan Mikita and Bobby Hull and up
I
on my
still
wall.
can't believe they didn't go to the playoffs last year.
Well,
And they had a great start to the season. All of a sudden, Corey Crawford drops out. It's like, what?
That's how important a good goalie
Really
is.
really, for real.
You know.
Should have kept Scott Darling.
Yeah, well, you know, it's kind of like Darvish.
Like
it's kind of like Darvish.
I mean, how do you know?
You make the move.
I know.
You make the
It's
move.
a good move.
Because Darling is not. He's too good to be a backup.
I know.
You know, so some other team's going to pick him up, and that's just the way it is. And you're not going to pay that kind of money for the guy to sit on the bench. You know, and of course he would have been sitting on the bench. We would have had him in the
exactly,
and we would have helped.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing.
But I'm just saying.
Darvish?
I'm just saying.
I'm calling him
like
Darvish.
you Darvish. You Darvish's thing is, it's like, I'm not getting on the guy. You know, you get hurt. I get it.
I know.
But if you're going to pay somebody that money, they should have just given it to Jake Arrieta.
I agree with that.
I don't know why that wasn't even a thing.
Because because it always looks better. You know, I hold on to him.
The grass
this
is always
guy's better
greener on the other side.
Yeah, so that makes sense. You know, I would have held on to Arrieta
Me
myself.
too. He won you a World Series.
No kid, and he didn't have a bad year last year.
No,
so I would.
He didn't have the greatest.
No,
but
he
it
didn't.
wasn't terrible by
he's
any
pitching
means.
fairly well.
I mean, he's no.
He's pitching good now.
He's no Chatwood.
So I'm going to on the show tonight. I'm at Wrigley Field. So if you're upstairs at Wrigley Field,
because we record Friday show or Sunday.
If you're on the way to Wrigley, 5 o'clock, and then you go to and then you're going to go upstairs to the club. I'm going to be there sitting next to Luce having a beer. Come on in, say hello to me. I'll buy you a beer, maybe. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the show today. We're running out of time.
Remember, open tax resolution is there for you, 312-664-6649. Remember, go to chicagotaxteam.com to go and use it as your hub to fight the IRS, because there's previous videos on there. There's blog reports. There's also going to be a way to contact Attorney Stephen Leahy. If you're looking to buy or sell homes in the area, give me a call, Jim Leahy, 847-271-3695. I'm with At Properties. Now, what else am I forgetting? Deborah Schreiner, best in the business. Thank you so much. We don't say it enough. We had a wonderful show today, ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to giving you more quality content next week. But
boy, do we have fun.
That's a week away. Stay tuned, because more great programming is coming up here on AM 560.
The Answer.
Yes. Woo, 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 woo. Seventh inning. Walk the guy. Walk the bases. Yes. Cubs are up 3-2. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you had a wonderful time with us today, because I know that I did. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a roll. We got a Cubs game to go watch. Remember, we record Friday's show airs Sunday at 5 here on AM 560 The Answer, Chicagoland's finest station. And, well, I got nothing else to say. I'm just trying to cover all my bases. Open text resolution, 312-664-6649. We got a roll. We got the Cubs to watch. You have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll catch you next time. How about that, huh?